everybody. Welcome back to the Lady Lorian Show. Today we are joined by me, Ruthie. We're with Dodge, Rose, Kenzie, and Kath. And we're going to be talking about some of the Investor Day announcements as well as the events of Chapter 15. And we have a lot to say. So let's jump right into it. What are you guys most excited about from Investor Day?
The Acolyte, definitely, hands down.
Why, Kath? Why are you so intrigued about
just
this?
because we're going to the High Republic era and we haven't really explored that area within the movies or TV shows yet. And it is something I am very invested in and very interested in. So I'm super excited to see what they're going to do with that.
I agree. I thought they were talking about making something about the High Republic, but I thought it was going to be the next 3 movies.
Yeah.
But are they still doing that, or?
Well, they mentioned how Taika Waititi is working on the trilogy, like the new trilogy and stuff, but they said something about it being in the future, which I really hope isn't the case. I really hope they go back and explore more of like the High Republic and Darth Bane and whatnot. Maybe Darth Plagueis or something.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people were really excited about Darth Plagueis because he is a legend in Star Wars. So
well, he is the wise, so obviously he's got some knowledge. Like, pass it on, man. Don't keep it to yourself.
He did create one of the most legendary Sith Lords. Can we talk about that? Mr. Palps.
Mr. Palps.
Papa Palps.
Have you ever heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? I probably totally butchered that line, but don't come for me.
I'm excited for Obi-Wan Kenobi too, because that's going to fill
Hayden
an entire other gap. And Hayden's coming back.
You all better be so nice to that man. He does not deserve the hate he got for the prequel trilogy.
Oh, look how gorgeous he is.
Look, you hate him.
He's a beautiful man.
Beautiful
Perfect
locks.
setup, Dodge.
I wonder if he's gonna. I know I have Obi here too, but he's a little
perfect.
So if he's coming back as Darth Vader, are we gonna see maskless Darth Vader?
I'm intrigued.
Are we gonna see a crispy Anakin once again? Is crispy Anakin going to be making a reappearance?
I really don't want to see
crispy I think we're going to be seeing crispy chicken Anakin, maybe.
Do you think they will show in Obi-Wan Kenobi, do you think they're going to show like flashbacks with Hayden as Anakin? Because in Investor Day, they just said he was coming back as Darth Vader, quote unquote.
I mean, I have to imagine they're going to utilize like.
Well, are they going to do flashbacks? Or because they said something about final showdowns and stuff.
Well, yeah, I think that'll probably be like both. I don't know.
Okay, so just because you guys mentioned the flashbacks, I just thought of this really quickly. I think it'd be really cool because obviously Luke, we're gonna see Luke, maybe Leia as a kid. You know, Luke doing his thing, and he gets a flashback to Anakin doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, parallels between child Luke and child
guys,
Anakin.
Yeah.
Are we going to see Darth Vader visit Padme's grave?
Oh,
I hope so.
Say that.
And this is Padme Amidala's
doubt it though.
No,
I doubt it.
They have to do that because they don't have to, but they really do have to. In the comics, when Darth Vader goes and visits Padme's grave, and I don't know, I think it'd be really cool.
Yeah.
And then her handmaidens pull up and they're like, "You don't belong here. You need to leave."
I think we're probably going to see a lot of Darth Vader because if the Mandalorian is any like, I don't know,
indicator
indicator of how they're gonna operate with these shows. Like recently we've talked about this a lot, like the focus has totally diverged from Din and his storyline, and we've brought so many other people in and stuff, so there's probably gonna be a pretty good balance between scenes with Anakin / Darth Vader and scenes with Obi-Wan.
Well, yeah, Anakin is one of Obi-Wan's most important people in his life.
Yeah.
I mean, they have to do a lot with him.
Yeah, I don't know if I can see them. I feel like when he is Darth Vader, I don't think we're going to see his face a lot. And if we do, it's going to be very few. But I feel like they're going to be bringing him back for a couple flashbacks because it's not that long of a series. That's what I remember. It's only one season. And it's just
like 4 or 5 episodes or something.
Yeah, it's very short. Long. So I'm sure that they're going to have, it's just going to kind of be focused on Obi-Wan's journey, but having like showing Darth Vader too, and then showing flashbacks a lot about the things that we missed in whatever Clone Wars or the prequels,
I really hope we get like hour-long episodes though, because it's
Oh,
gonna
they
be
have
I feel
to.
like that's what they're gonna do.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. How do we feel about the Bad Batch series?
Oh,
Echo, Tech,
I
my two
know.
favorite people in the world.
was
I mean, come
Tech not
on.
in it?
Tech is in it.
Tech is in it, yeah.
Tech is part of the Bad Batch.
Oh, okay. I thought you said he wasn't in it, and I was like, no,
Yeah,
okay.
no, Michael would have exploded on
Oh, he
the
would have been
timeline
so
about that
mad.
one, so.
So mad. But isn't Crosshairs not in the trailer?
Yeah, there's something I feel like Crosshair. So here's my theory. I feel like they're gonna like the Order 66 is gonna happen, and then most of the Bad Batch is gonna be like, no, not down. And then but Crosshair is gonna be like, like with it.
Interesting.
I don't know. Crosshair gave me that vibe of just being absolutely with it.
Yeah, I get that.
I get to kill some people. All right, let's go.
There's also been theories that like Crosshairs is like somehow taken in prison or something, and they're part of the plot is
dead.
them trying to get in. But who
Mhm.
knows?
How about the Andor series?
Oh, I'm
Oh,
so
Cassian
Pretty
Andor.
excited about that
Oh.
one.
Okay, as much as I love that man, the Lando series is what is really
Yeah.
Okay,
sending me.
same.
I hope we have a lot of costume changes from that man, or I swear to God, I will riot.
He has
Somewhat
the best
extravagant capes.
and Padme Amidala have the best fashion sense in Star Wars. I do not take criticism.
They know what they're doing.
Is Donald Glover going to be playing Lando?
I would
Be
think so.
better.
I would.
That would be immaculate.
I will accept no other actor to play Lando.
I mean, I think he captured Lando's character like perfectly. He was just so
Yes.
like chill and suave. And,
Wow.
yes, I loved him as Lando.
I hope that he has at least 3 cape changes throughout every episode. Just to
3.
spice it
We're
up.
gonna need 4, okay? Or else it's not
Sorry.
accurate.
Sorry.
What if he has one cape for each day of the week?
But then like
No, he doesn't reuse capes. That
yeah,
is fashion.
number 1.
Sin. Fashion
Yeah,
sin.
sin.
That's fair. That's
There's
fair.
the good word. Okay, but back to the Andor series.
Mhm.
Just to mention the pain that Rogue One is. I wonder because so his sister's definitely going to be in it because Cassian does have a sister. I'm just really interested. It's just we know his demise, so it's gonna hurt a little bit watching it. But it's just gonna really be fun to see him grow into the person that we see in Rogue One. And we've seen some of the concept art. I'm really excited for that series along with the Obi-Wan series and another series that I just forgot about. But yeah, I'm just because it's been in the Cassian series has been in the talks for a while, so I'm really excited to see what they're gonna do with it, and I really, really hope they don't screw it up because I love Cassian and I love Rogue One.
Okay, you know what I want to see? I want to see
Yo.
Saw oh my god, I'm totally butchering this. Saw
you got
Gerrera come back at
Who's
some point or
that?
another. You don't know who the Saw Gerrera is? In Rogue One, the guy that watches over the or so. He's also in
Yeah,
Jedi
okay.
Fallen Order and in the Clone
Yeah.
Wars.
Oh yeah.
He is? I didn't know
Yeah.
he was in the Clone Wars.
Yeah, he has like a daughter and everything, and it's when Ahsoka and goes on that journey with that guy that she likes, or like the guy that liked her or something. But he has a girlfriend, and his girlfriend is Saw Gerrera's daughter.
Hasn't
Oh.
Rangers of the New Republic been pinned as a Mando spinoff?
Yeah,
Yes.
it takes place during the same timeline as The Mandalorian, as well as like the Ahsoka show will take place during the same time period as The Mandalorian.
Okay, do you think we're gonna see?
Let's not
any
bring up the
characters-
Ahsoka show, guys.
Do you think we're gonna see any characters from the Mandalorian in
I
Rangers of the New
freaking
Republic?
hope so. With how much they're coming into the Mando series,
It's just
Mando
it's
better
all
be
day.
plug in those cameos, baby.
I want to see more Tamara.
You just see him flying in the back. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you guys. I'm actually in the Rangers of the New Republic. The NDA contract that I couldn't tell you guys until now.
Well, you just-
Congratulations!
Yeah, I'm
Nice.
a Ranger.
Wow.
Real fun.
Somebody tell that very reputable Star Wars casting Twitter account to post about that.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Really quickly, did anybody notice the girl who looked like Finnick in the Bad Batch trailer?
Yes.
Yeah,
That
she
is
in it? Yes,
Fennec.
Finnick.
It is.
I love that.
I hope she's
I'ma
coming in and
love her.
voicing her.
Make
I'm going
another
to.
proposal real quick.
What's up?
Ming, nah.
Oh my
Wen.
god.
I just wanted to say,
What?
you
Wait.
may be near the age of my mother and my father, but I'm gonna have to ask you for your hand in marriage, you beautiful, beautiful woman.
In the words of Pedro Pascal, let me blink.
Let me be.
Well, does it really count if she hasn't aged since like 2004?
Exactly,
true.
exactly.
Yes.
She's obviously a
That woman.
vampire. That's
She's-
aging in 2004.
That's why we do our skincare routines. That's why we use our retinol.
Can't relate.
Yeah.
Who
That's the
doesn't wash
goal.
my face?
Wear your sunscreen, ladies.
I'm
and
just letting
gentlemen, and
myself
you will look
age.
like
Excuse me.
Ming Wen at age 57.
No sunscreen. I just need freckles. Okay.
Disney,
Looking real
Disney, if you're
gorgeous.
listening to this, please give me more backstory about the Kaminoans, because I really love those long neck bad boys. They are so smart and they are so cool.
I do have a lot of questions about them because I just feel like we don't know anything about them besides that's like where the clones are made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know
My s-
they are geniuses, and we also
My-
there's so many plot holes that need to be filled with that.
What was the series of
Francis.
shorts called that's gonna be like all anime?
Visions.
Yeah, that's really
gonna be cool.
That is
yeah.
that is there's some points in for Disney right there. But
Yeah, I just don't understand how Vision from Marvel is gonna cross over to Star Wars. Like that's really confusing for me.
God.
I'm totally kidding.
can we get a who is it? Iron Man, Anakin
What?
fight?
Oh,
Iron Man versus Anakin?
Iron
Oh
Man
my
would
God.
not last a second. Let's be honest here.
Are you
I would
kidding?
like
Crunch.
Wait, no,
Oh,
sorry.
Dare you?
Thor versus Anakin. You want to talk about that one then?
I don't even want to look at you guys.
No, guys, no. Listen, Thor, the power of a god, okay, versus
Yeah.
Darth Vader, the power of another absolute god.
No. Oh my God, Palpatine and just electricity just going off.
Palpatine wouldn't. The electricity versus electricity would be interesting, but Palpatine is an old man, okay?
Yeah, that's just hammer to the head. It's over.
Dodge is looking very displeased with us right now.
Yeah.
And this is
This
is
better
now-
all
this,
stay in the podcast. You better not cut it.
This is the Dodge only
Don't-
show from now
Maybe
on.
I will. No Iron Man slander on this house. But okay, for Visions, isn't it supposed to be like anime style?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I wonder if we're gonna like each thing
I
is
wonder if we're gonna have to watch it with subtitles.
about original characters or if it's gonna be about characters who are already canon.
I'm sure it's gonna be a mixture, but I feel like it's
Yeah, I
gonna
would
be
love to
a
see a mixture.
majority. I feel like it's gonna be a majority new characters, but every once in a while we're gonna see some familiar faces, kind of as a cameo.
Yeah, I would love to see new faces. As much as I love all our already established characters, I just, like Kath said, she's really excited about the High Republic, and I'm like, not as excited as Kath, but I would love to see some new characters, and learn more about the Jedi and the Sith and how we got where we are.
Yeah.
I'm
No one is
excited for
ever gonna
the-
be as excited as me about this stuff.
Oh no, you're number one fan. I'll text Disney about sending you stuff. Don't worry, I got you, boo.
I'm
Oh,
excited for the
right.
Andor series because it's not going to be focused on Jedi and Sith, most likely.
Mhm.
And I like the Star Wars we get to see that like diverges from that. That's why I love the Mandalorian, like the first season so much. Because it like we got to see just a completely different side like of the universe. We got to see like a, relatively normal person.
How disappointed are we about them not announcing a Rebel sequel?
Well, there are some thought processes out there that the Ahsoka show is going to be essentially the Rebels sequel. They just haven't really divulged on that since they haven't like revealed Ezra coming back, which a lot
Yeah,
of people
because
seem
we
to
all
think
know
is what-
Raul's gonna be Ezra, so
Yeah,
like that's how they're gonna
obviously.
bring him in.
No,
Well, I mean,
Rose gonna play Anakin Skywalker.
I mean,
Manifesting.
because we have confirmed that like Ahsoka is looking for Thrawn, and I feel like they're gonna carry that over into
Yeah.
like Ahsoka's show, and so it'll be like Ahsoka, Thrawn. They'll probably bring back Ezra.
Ron is that blue guy, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
he's
Evil
in,
blue
The
man.
Smurf.
that blue guy.
yeah,
He's in the Blue Man Group,
Wow, he's so talented.
Like, wait,
Wow.
with
right?
Cad
I
Bane?
know. Musical king.
You didn't know? Come on, Kath.
No.
I swear to God, there was another show I was really excited about, but I cannot remember which one I was excited about.
I'll look it up.
I hope
Okay.
the
A
Rangers of the
droid
New
story. They're gonna do the
Yes.
droid story. I'm so excited.
I
about
love
that.
droids. All BB-8. All BB-8.
Ew.
I hope the Rangers of the New Republic is focused on
Ew.
Cobb Vanth.
It's gonna follow R2D2 and C3PO as they meet and guide a new hero.
I think the Rangers show is going to focus on Cara Dune. But
There's also Rogue Squadron.
Okay.
Sorry.
I want
I'm
to
just
Cobb
saying
Vanth
that.
cameo.
I think that's what they're playing at with her having her badge now. I'm just saying. I'm not saying I want that. I'm
It's
just saying.
probably yeah. The Marshall thing is probably gonna be Kara and Grief Karga.
You know what?
I have
I'll take
something to
it.
do about
But we
it.
all know the most upsetting part of this whole announcement is that we have to wait a year for season 3 of The Mandalorian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what the heck?
If
And-
they end the season with Din not reunited with Grogu, and I
I
have
will
to
go
like,
to
live with
Disney
that for a year,
myself.
Disney, if
It's
you
because
pull
I have
that
Grogu.
on me, if you pull that, it's done. It's
that will be damaging
over,
to
bro.
our health.
I
as a
can't
whole.
literally.
I don't think he's getting him back, personally.
Why would you jinx it? Why would you put it into the
Kenzie.
universe, Kenzie?
First of all,
Realistically speaking, Din cannot handle Baby Yoda, and Din will die probably before Baby Yoda can sustain its own life.
Stop talking.
okay,
I
well,
You're
do
about to
that's
get
not all
kicked.
I was gonna say him getting the child back would be really repetitive of the season finale of last year. So
I think it's
Wait,
gonna
guys,
be crazy.
that was the last episode of The Mandalorian, right? Or we have one more?
we
We
have
have
one
one
more.
more.
One
We have
more.
the season finale.
No, I
Oh,
thought that was the
baby.
season finale. Oh. That is
I would
the best news I've had all
actually.
day.
No, I thought the previous episode was the last episode, so I was like, so this is how they're gonna end it. As you can tell, I never know what's going on.
That would be anticlimactic.
I'm not good at counting.
That's okay.
I'm gonna be.
Speaking of, do we want to dive into to this episode of The Mandalorian?
I will
Shall we?
always
Say we
be
go.
ready to dive into this.
I say
episode.
we dive in hard.
Can we please talk about Mr. Brown Eyes?
Sir.
Yeah.
Okay, another proposal coming our way.
Okay, this is my proposal. Mr. Brown
Go.
Eyes. Din Djarin, I know you're out there and I know you're listening to our podcast. Sir, I would like to take your hand in marriage. Please? You precious being. I love you. Oh, I'm
So
in love.
mine's not as deep as that. It's more of just like, what's going on, Mr. Brown Eyes? So come here often.
Mine's to a specific actor, Pedro Pascal.
No.
Even though you cut your hair, your
No.
beautiful, beautiful curls.
We'll
I
let it
love you,
pass.
man. You beautiful, beautiful person. Just you take my breath away.
As a member of the brown-eyed community,
I
I
think
feel
we're all
seen.
members.
and I feel loved.
Dodge.
Dodge, get out. Dodge, you know what? You're done with the podcast. It's only brown-eyed people from now on.
Sorry. This is a brown eyes
Dang
episode.
it.
I'm just kidding.
We could call
I'm
this
sorry.
one Brown Eyed Girls.
Yes.
Brown-eyed
Minus
girls
Dodge.
And Dodge.
Mine is Dodge.
But that's I didn't see it coming. We were on Zoom like an hour beforehand. Kenzie, Rose, and I were, and I was like, "All right, guys, before you go to bed, pray we're gonna get Helmetless and Djarin tonight." And they're like, "Yeah, whatever." And then it happened, and I was like,
Yeah, a
"Manifestation."
lot of people were predicting that it was gonna happen this episode, and I was actually surprised people were right.
Me too.
Just I know other people commented it, but I also agree that we just in a way we were all kind of expecting he was gonna take it off for Go-Go. And I'm just disappointed he didn't.
Sorry, Go-Go?
Yeah, I know that two of you haven't been here for a while, but we've decided we are never saying his name right ever again. It is only
Go-Go, little green
Go-Go,
gremlin.
Mike
You know what I'm gonna call
Wazowski.
him? I'm gonna call him Gogurt.
okay.
Good.
Great.
Um,
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm just
I
gonna
just
call him a nuisance.
okay.
Whatever you
works.
want. It just can't be correct is the only thing.
Yeah.
Dodge
I
said it
just-
correctly earlier, so kick her.
So did I.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
well,
there's
fine.
many reasons why we're kicking Dodge.
The list is just adding up.
She
today.
edits the podcast, guys. We can't do
after she
anything without
edits
her.
after she edits the podcast. I just, I was he did it obviously for Little Green Gremlin, but I was just, in a way it was anticlimactic, but I loved seeing Pedro's facial expressions. You can tell that man was so anxious during the entire time, and Mayfield was just talking and causing issues, and
When
you could tell
Mayfield
he was
gave
just
him
like,
his helmet, but when Mayfield
No,
gave
it's
him
fine,
his
you
helmet
can- you
back
don't
and
know.
was like, "I never saw your face," I was like, "Oh, King."
Yeah.
oh, so you do have feelings.
The
I was
acting,
definitely
just like, it was so good. You can tell that Din is not used to like hiding his expressions, and he's used to not moving his head a lot. And when he does focus on someone, he fully moves. He doesn't do the peripheral thing.
Yeah.
And it was
Someone-
so good.
Dodge, I didn't pick up on that, the moving the whole head.
Yeah, in my group chat we talked about it. He moves his head like a chicken. That sounds so bad, but like Dodge says, he moves his head. Because he can't see people in the peripheral of his helmet, so he has to move his entire head. So like you can see him when Mayfield's talking and like they're panned this way. You can see in the corner Pedro Din is like looking straight at him and just staring at him instead of just like looking at him in his peripherals. And I think, once again, great acting on Pedro Pascal's part.
That man.
And I love you, man.
I love you, man. I'm never gonna stop loving you, man. But it was so good. Like, you can tell that Din was anxious, and like just like it was crazy just how good. Like, I felt like I was like disobeying the creed by looking at him. Like, I just
Yeah.
like felt how he felt, and I thought that was such good
I was so
acting.
anxious for him.
I know.
And he doesn't know like how to convey emotion through his face without words. You can see the visible like stress and tension in him, and it was so good. It was crazy.
When they were talking about Operation Cinder, I got really excited because in Battlefront 2, when you're playing Iden Versio's campaign story, you carry out Operation Cinder, and then
Oh,
and it's really cool.
that's a great connection.
Which really, Operation Cinder is just blowing up Imperial planets, which I never fully understood why the Empire was blowing up their own planets. I think they were just like trying to keep secrets or something. But
Create fear.
yeah, it was definitely to create fear. But I got to carry out Operation Cinder, and so when I heard them bring it up
So responsible?
in this episode, I got super excited. I carried it out. I was Iden Versio and everything.
You were on the ground.
Mm-hmm. But then I rebelled against the Empire and joined the rebellion, and then destroyed Operation Cinder by blowing up their satellites.
It happened. You
So-
became a Mayfield. It's all good.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
They gave Mayfield an entire redemption arc in one episode.
Yes.
immaculate. When they're like, "Oh, it's unfortunate that he died," I thought they were gonna kill him. I was like, "No."
Oh, he definitely thought that too. I could tell when they were
He was
first
like,
talking
"What?"
about it. He was like, "Bro, send me back, send me back."
Save that man. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. I was like, is Din gonna kill Mayfield now? Because when they killed all the stormtroopers inside the base or whatever, and then Din looks at Mayfield, I was like, is he gonna kill him now because he's the last person who saw his face? And then Mayfield was like, I never saw your face. Here's your face.
He was
He's
like,
like trying to recover. That scene took me, the amount of times I've watched that scene, it was
You
just
said
so-
37 on Twitter. Has that grown since then?
Yeah, that was yesterday.
More like 47 now?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
just so good. I also like the nod that he did was so Din. If you guys remember, like Mayfield switches it and starts talking about how like everyone died, and Din like turns over and he like
He shakes his head.
Yes, he shakes his head, but very, very, you can't notice it that much. And it's like, that's what Din did under the helmet. And it just felt so much like Din Djarin. So good.
I feel like he's rejecting his clan more and becoming more comfortable with the Mandalorians he saw in Bo-Katan and in Axe Woves, you know?
Yeah,
No?
I agree. I'm interested to see how we're going to see Din develop from here, because obviously he's still in the Creed because he put his
Yeah.
helmet back on. So I'm interested to see what his like next step is, what he becomes, what becomes his way. Because obviously I don't think he's going to be taking it off as often as Bo-Katan, but I feel like he's going to be in between.
The Adidas shoes that came out for the Mandalorian line, they have a pair of shoes that says "Find Your Way" on the shoe. I think Dodge, you hit the nail on the head. Din is finding his own way, you know?
And I'm here for it. I'm
He is
so
projecting
excited.
the way with a capital W and finding his way. He's in an identity crisis right now. We need to give him a
I
break.
love it.
All right, just ladies. Actually, there's no gentlemen in the chat. But to the ladies, gentlemen, and the non-binaries watching, I have to leave now. So
Goodbye,
have
Kath.
a good rest of the podcast. I look forward to watching the rest later on YouTube, and love you guys.
And
And then there were four. That
Our
was not
minds.
planned. That was not planned. Wow. We're mind melding.
Can we talk about Boba's fit? He came out styling. He said, I ain't going nowhere
Oh.
looking raggedy. Okay, we're gonna paint this. Oh, also, I think, was this the first time we've ever seen the inside of the slave one?
Yeah, it was.
Like, in like live action, because we've
Oh,
probably
yeah.
seen it in comics, but I thought that was really cool. I just don't know how that man does not get dizzy like starting upside down. Like, I do not understand
Yeah,
why
I really
he chose
don't
that shit.
I don't understand the physics of that. I also don't know where the heck he got the paint from. Like,
He's got it stored up just
like
for emergencies.
what pit stop did they make to get him paint for that?
Yeah, he crushed some weird like desert berries and made his own paint.
Yeah, there was some TikTok videos of people like reenacting the scene between like the last episode and this episode, and it's like Din crying over the Razor Crest dying and Grogu gone and his whole life being destroyed, and then Boba like, we're gonna make a pit stop because I need to get some paint. And then we'll go find your little boy, and it's just like Din crying while Boba's painting his armor.
What if Gogurt had like an art kit, you know, like arts and crafts stuff, like on the Razor Crest, you know, to keep him entertained? And so like Boba Fett found like these little like watercolor paints like in like the rubbish. And then he was like, perfect.
This will do.
That'll do.
I should have known that Din was going to be showing his face when he got into the clone armor. I should have known, because you could see his eyes, and I know it's Pedro underneath it because you could see his nose.
Wait, you can see his eyes?
You can see his eyes and his nose on certain points when the light's hitting it right. You can see
Dodge
perfectly.
like zooming in on the episode, just like
Have watched,
writing.
you have watched this episode too many times. Like,
Dodge
wait.
is absurd.
Dodge, I will send you
Listen.
to therapy if you watch it one more time.
I'm doing
Yeah.
research for the podcast.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. But you can see his eyes and his nose, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's Pedro underneath it," because I could see it. And then I should have known. I should have known.
I just can sniff it out. Like, yeah, that's
I
Pedro,
know,
right?
like, that's Pedro
Is,
right there.
is that a Dorito shape right there? Is that a waist on thinner? That's Pedro, all right.
Yeah, I feel like I can tell now, like if it's Pedro or not.
Just
like, in
sense it through the
suit.
force.
Okay, I had a quick question for everybody. Did you guys find it odd that the Imperial officer in this episode had a Southern American accent?
I
Yeah.
liked it.
Because
Wow.
it seems like every like high up Imperial figure we've seen in Star Wars has had a British accent to kind of like represent like British imperialism and stuff like that. And then he just came out full yeehaw, cool and Luke, like what we have here is a failure to communicate.
It just showed me that General Hux could have had an Irish accent, which would have been beautiful, but
Yeah.
they failed us. Not to bring up
Oh
General
my
Hux or anything for like no reason, but actually I liked it. I thought it made his character more entertaining because honestly, if it was just another British actor, I would have been like, okay, yeah, just kill him already, get it over with. But I think because he had that southern drawl, it was like, okay,
There's
sir.
something about that southern drawl brings us
That
in.
no.
I was gonna say, can we talk about how Din basically took his helmet off for nothing because that guy didn't recognize Mayfeld?
Exactly, Mayfeld, you little man, you little baby boy.
Was thinking that little wimp. I just can't believe how easy he took it off. Like,
For Go-Go.
He had to.
I know.
Also, another thing, Mayfeld, full offense. No Imperial officer are gonna know the footmen. Let's be honest here.
Well,
He's
but
not
he was a
gonna know who.
sharpshooter, so maybe he was higher up.
Did
Wasn't
he mention
Mayfield
he's
like a sharpshooter? Like he was like pretty
No.
high up in Imperial
He
stuff.
might have.
I
But
think
still,
so. And time has passed too. You know, some time
Yeah.
has passed, and maybe Mayfeld was like significantly younger, like when he was in.
And especially if you assumed he just died.
Yeah, I'm like kind of confused about Mayfeld's like timeline, considering like we know him and Din worked together in the past,
Mhm.
but then also he like worked for the Imperials. So I'm like, that's like I just like don't know
Yeah, maybe
what
he.
point those things took place.
They must have worked together like soon after the Imperial.
Yeah.
The Empire fell.
I want to learn more about that. I know a lot of people have opinions about their crew and they don't like them, but I'm intrigued on
I
what
want
Din's
to
past
know
is on that.
what story they're talking about where Din went. Okay, sorry. That made me think of something. So you know how like when they were talking about that in episode 6 and how like Din just went absolutely feral and like just like, started killing people.
Yeah.
Are we gonna be able to see that when he tries to go get little green gremlin? Because I would love to see that for
Of
no reason in particular.
course. Of course. I'm here for it's definitely gonna happen. Din's gonna
Those
go
We
ham.
kind of
scenes-
got hints of it when he
Mm.
sent the hologram.
All the scenes in Mando where we have like cool Mandos like strutting down a hallway with awesome lighting and fog shooting people. I'm here for it. We got it with chapter 6 in season 1 and chapter whatever 13, I think. No, yeah, the one with Bo-Katan. When they're on the Imperial ship, the hallway thing. It's just so cool.
Sorry, I
Yes.
just remembered a funny joke I made when we saw the hologram.
It's like shiver me timbers when when that scene I was shook. I was not expecting it. He was so still that I was like, I thought he was gonna snap, but
Yeah.
I'm ready. This
Just start barking.
yeah. I have a feeling I wouldn't be surprised if in the next chapter, the final episode, that it ends with like Din finally able to get the child and Moff has like the dark saber to the child's neck. And
Why would
like-
you say that?
I'm
How
just saying,
dare
the
you?
Suspense, and then he's like, "You lay one finger on the child, and he's done." And then Din's like, "Ah!" And then Moff is like, "Ah!" You know.
Wait, Din's like what?
Din's like, "Ah!" You know.
And Moff is like,
He's like,
Moff is like, "Ah!" You know.
and then Din
know.
wields
Yeah.
the dark saber.
Yeah.
you should.
I wouldn't be surprised at the end of this episode that it ends with Moff like escaping with the child, and it's just like Din alone in the.
Hey, can you stop talking?
I don't want it to happen. I'm just saying that.
Kenzie, what are your dark thoughts?
Yeah.
Oh no, I mean I definitely think it's gonna end on like some sort of like cliffhanger situation where we have to wait a whole year to like feel resolved in those feelings. To touch on what you said, Rose, I do not want to see Din with the dark saber, so that's my personal opinion on that.
I think it would be fine for no reason.
That's exactly what you think it would be.
And remember, Bo-Katan wants the dark saber too.
That's why I don't want him to have it. I don't think.
Oh, yeah,
I think
no.
that she should get it back.
I think he would just like wield it for a quick second, just stabby, and then okay, here you go, Bo-Katan.
That's what I think too, Rose.
Do you
I
think
can see like in the next season. I don't think the finale, but maybe the next season, like Bo-Katan coming to Din's rescue and fighting Moff Gideon because she wants the dark saber so bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you
Oh.
think there's a chance that she makes an appearance next episode?
Yeah, my dad asked me about that after we finished the episode, and I think he's gonna go try to find them and be like, hey, you know that Moff Gideon dude? I got his coordinates, wanna go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either she's gonna be in the next episode or in the very beginning of the next season.
I
Like,
agree.
if if Moff gets away with the child, Din is automatically gonna go to
Mhm.
her because he knows that she's tracking him. So he'll probably go to her next.
I
But
hadn't
I
thought
really
about
don't want
that
it to
until
happen.
now.
I don't want him to be separated any longer.
He needs to be with his son.
Needs to be with the son.
Can we talk about how many times Kara and Finnick saved Din and Mayfeld's booties?
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
pretty good. They're good at their job.
Those women. Oh my gosh.
They know what they're doing. They
Mm.
know what they're
I'm
doing.
just so glad that they decided. They're like, you know what? Finnick's gonna live.
I know.
She won't live.
They're like, ah, she's too powerful. Bring her back in.
Yeah.
We can't kill off Mulan. That would be a sin.
Yeah, that's against the
I
rules.
love that lady.
Oh my gosh, so talented.
But to bring it back, when he put on the armor, I thought it was so cool when he was fighting the pirates and they were like hitting him and he like was blocking it like he normally would with the Beskar, but
Yeah.
like it would hurt him, and just like seeing him just like soar going back into passenger seat was just like, you can tell
Yeah.
that he was very mad underneath that helmet.
I definitely think that was like a big moment of like Din realizing like he is not indestructible. He's so used to the Beskar protecting him, and that's like so become a part of who he is. Like he's
Yeah.
never not wearing it, and so to see him, obviously not wearing it, wearing the Imperial outfit, and then obviously that stuff is like, I just like don't understand Imperial armor, because like you would think after this long they would like figure out how to make it better, but like I swear you watch the stormtroopers and their like armor just explodes.
Right? It's like we have the technology to harvest midi-chlorians from someone's blood, but we can't upgrade stormtrooper armor.
I think that's to quickly say something is just another say on like how they don't care about the stormtroopers, so they'll give them
Yeah.
the cheap armor, because why would they spend the money on
Better.
expendable soldiers?
Yeah,
Speaking
it's
of
about
armor,
it's about quantity, not quality.
Quality.
was anybody excited to see shore troopers too?
Yes.
I think they're so cool. I think they're cool. I love seeing shore troopers. Every
I
time
thought
we
Were,
get to
were those
color,
the tan ones?
heck yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's
They
one
just
that my
look
dad's
so
pointing out.
different. Their armor looks so different than all the other troopers, and they really stand out. I just think they're really cool looking.
They're
Yeah,
secret.
that was pretty cool to see all of them come out and save them, and it's like, we're about to destroy your
I know, and
whole
they were all
base,
like,
but you know, that part was so funny when Mayfield just salutes and he's like, it was so funny. I was waiting for Din to do it too, but
I was like having
Dan would never.
anxiety that like Mayfeld still or had his helmet off when they came in, because like I'm just like, because obviously like he had his helmet off, right? So it's like a normal thing for them to take their helmets off, I guess. But like if they often take their helmets off, how did nobody not go like, I don't recognize him?
yeah.
yeah.
Like
he must be like, they, because the transport systems must die enough where they just keep on bringing in stormtroopers, and so if the only time you'll see someone again is if they make another successful run.
I think the fact that the officer didn't recognize Mayfeld was another element that contributed to the idea of like the higher ups in the Empire not caring about the soldiers, and the soldiers being numbers and being disposable.
I was also scared that when they got into the base, everyone would be like looking as why like Din didn't take off his helmet.
Same.
And so I was like, this whole episode, I was just like, he's not gonna take off his helmet. So why is there doing like there's so much hinting? I was like, there's no way they're gonna do it because there's too much hinting. But they did it.
Well,
I'm not
Dodge, some of us just don't notice signs. And well, okay, I got spoiled beforehand because I always get spoiled beforehand. So I saw it, and but yeah, regardless, I would have not noticed that they were hinting at him taking it off.
They've been hinting for a while. Like, of course, they've been hinting a lot, but in the past like 2 episodes, they were hinting a lot, and I was like, I always think it's gonna be like the end of the season, last episode thing, because I feel like that's the vibe that we're going through right now. But that's why it threw me off. I was like, it can't be in the second to last episode because Grogu isn't there, and I was like, it has to be because of Grogu. So Or sorry, go. Gremlin.
Yeah, why
Mike
would
Wazowski.
who's Grogu?
Sorry.
Do you guys think that Din is going to keep the slave one, or do you think he's going to get a new ship?
That's a good question.
I think he's gonna
I
get a new
don't-
ship. I don't think
Yeah,
because
I don't think Boba would ever give it up.
Well, I don't think Boba's gonna stick around.
Yeah,
for,
well, I think maybe Boba could like retire. He's much older now. He's much older than Din. You know, maybe he could like pass it on to Din. I don't.
No, I think
think he's
Boba is
gonna
way
die.
too obsessed with his ship.
No,
Yeah, I
he's
mean,
like,
he spent his whole rest of his life trying to find this armor, and then he's just gonna be like, "All right, my
Take my
life's
ship."
complete. I'm gonna retire my armor." Like, I don't think so. That man's gonna wear that armor until he's
He
dead.
will.
We know that family is more important to him than like anything. And so like I feel like if he felt that Din needed slave one to keep the child safe, you know, he would kind of understand and have respect for like that father-son connection.
Interesting. You know what I think's gonna happen?
Plot.
No dodge.
Boba's gonna die, and then as in his dying breath,
Dodge.
he's gonna be like, "I want you to take care of my ship." I think he's gonna die
Stop.
because if he doesn't die,
Stop.
he's coming back. Like he's
Then let him come back.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm like, honestly, I was expecting, like, going back to Investors Day, and so I was expecting a Boba Fett show announcement, and we didn't get that. So there are some.
I'm gonna have to ask you both to stop giving Disney ideas. I'm gonna have to ask this whole podcast to stop giving John and Dave
sorry.
ideas because I will not stand for Boba's death. Am I understood?
Okay, I'm sorry. If you're
Okay.
Dave Filoni or John Favreau, just click off. Just
Actually
Ignore
don't
this.
leave us a review. And then
Yeah, of course. Leave us
Okay,
a
okay,
review.
okay.
Share it with your friends and family.
Click pause, leave a comment, hit subscribe,
ask Pedro
your
if he
friends
wants to
and family.
join. And
And-
Smash that like
and then
button.
leave.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
leave.
Yeah.
Kinsey, I hate how right I think you are.
Oh yeah, and you.
You probably
Sadly,
hit
you
the
guys
nail
are
on the
right.
head. Because, you know, we've been given the fan service. We got to see Boba. We got to see him reclaim his armor. I don't think he was ever meant to be a character that was in the spotlight. And then people really got attached to him and latched on to him. I don't think Disney ever planned or Star Wars ever planned for him to be the fad that he was. So I think he probably is going to get killed off. I don't know.
Yeah, I think like you're definitely right. And like he wasn't like really ever intended to be like this like big character that everyone like was obsessed with. I don't know, just like I feel like they brought him back to just kind of like answer some unanswered questions and like solidify like him being a Mandalorian, I guess, because they are doing a whole show about them and he was like the original one. So
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways that they can ease out of it because Boba's not gonna get his own series. We know that it's not gonna happen. Sorry guys.
Not unless I have something to do about it.
And you don't. So therefore it won't be there. But
Rude.
there's two ways this can end. Like either Boba dies and it's like an epic death and it's like peace out to the character, kind of like Iron Man, like rest in peace, dude. I appreciate
Oh,
your
so you're not
loss.
gonna recover from that death either?
Listen, I know it's been like 2 years, but I'm still recovering. But I think if he's gonna die, I think that's a good way to like signature that like or like sign out Boba and put like Mando as like the new signature Mandalorian and kind of have him take over the slave. Or Boba can leave the slave and be like, you need this more than I do. You know, whatever. But that just leaves like, and maybe Boba just makes like constant appearances like every season or so. Din comes back to, you know, say hi, what's up, look at your ship, it's not destroyed yet, and leave, you know.
Season
So-
finale.
With monthly checkups.
I'm calling it dead Boba.
If
No.
they are gonna kill him, they're gonna have to kill him. I think
Yeah.
they're gonna have to destroy the ship and they're
He's
gonna have
gonna
to shoot him in space.
Ooh.
or
No,
else-
because I think Din might keep the ship.
I want Din
Well,
to have
no,
I want Din to
I-
have his own ship.
yeah.
Like I don't want him to have Boba's ship. Like,
Yeah, I
no.
agree.
I think they're gonna have to destroy everything, or else the fans are gonna be like,
There's a
might
chance.
there's still a chance. Okay, you know,
As,
like they have.
as CEO of there's still a chance.
We know, Kenzie. We know.
The only thing is, like, it's so hard for them, and it takes so much time and effort to build the miniatures of the ships and like the digitally rendered versions. And it's like, oh, would they really make 2 brand new ships
Yeah.
in that
Yeah.
amount of time?
They didn't sell enough Legos of the Razor Crest, so they're redoing it. I would love a new ship for
I
Din.
feel like
He
I feel
steals
like
the
Din
Millennium
is
Falcon.
gonna-
Falcon.
I feel like Din is gonna go to like a scrapyard and find like another Razor Crest.
You're right. The Razor Crest is like the Honda Civic of space.
and Din loves
There's
it.
nothing wrong with Honda Civic.
The
okay,
Chevy Impala.
I kind of wanted him to like go on a little shopping spree and like splurge a little and get a real nice ship, you know?
Get a Range
He's
Rover.
gonna treat himself. He's gonna melt the Beskar spear, melt it down,
No,
sell
no,
it.
he's not to build a ship. He makes a ship out of Beskar. Can you imagine?
He's like, ain't
That
nothing
thing-
getting me now.
That thing would not fly.
He would just sink.
It would literally go.
I want to see Pedro use the spear because he's already trained in that combat from Game of Thrones. He knows how to work.
Don't
a
mention
weapon like
that.
that, because he actually did it in Game of Thrones. So if they
Yeah, but that was
brought
also,
in a
like-
weapon like that and didn't use him in the suit, like,
yeah.
what a wasted opportunity.
It was
I
also
wanna
like
see it.
15 years ago. So we
Wait,
just got a
what?
little bit of age on him.
It was 6 years ago.
Yeah, it wasn't that long. ago.
Dodge, why would you lie? Dodge, where did you get the 15 from?
It was
Because
21.
in an interview, he's like, Oberyn Martell is this 30-year-old swagger dude. And I was like, oh my gosh, 30. And then he's like, I'm a 30-year-old with this swagger attitude. And I was like, okay, 30. Now he's 45, 15.
He's
That's my math.
rounding.
Yeah.
I didn't know that makes a lot more
He's doing-
sense.
I'm like, Dodge. Game of Thrones wasn't even like coming out 15 years ago.
That thing was
Dodge, you're
going on
just
for a
so
while.
pretty.
Stop.
Rose.
When he got the spear, that was so cool. Did you guys notice that, like, sorry, I'm talking about another episode really quick, but on the inside, the battle with Ahsoka was like a samurai movie, and then on the outside, the fight with the guy was like a western. And like, I don't know if you guys have like watched some of the videos like on the making of season 1 and stuff, but like Dave and John said that their inspiration for Mando were samurai movies, like old-fashioned samurai movies and westerns. And they
Yeah.
like had literally both in a parallel in the same like 5 minutes, and it was so cool. They're just going back and forth.
I want Din to use the spear too. I said this in like the last episode, but I'm so excited because obviously he's gonna use it. I don't know if he's gonna use it before we see him training with it, or
Mhm.
it's going to be, whatever. Did we see the jetpack in this episode?
I
Yes,
think
yes, he was wearing it. You could see it in you could see Boba was wearing his, and that's like why I noticed because I saw that Boba had one on. I was like, oh frick, like let's see if Din has his, and then like you could see he was wearing it.
I loved that part too when Mayfield was like, he like flinched at Boba, and then he was like, "Oh, I thought you were this other guy," and then Din shrugged down. the path.
you're like, what's up?
Just like
I'm
Mayfield.
I'm really glad they like honestly like we talked like, a little bit about our feelings about Mayfeld last time, but honestly like he does like bring in like the comedy aspect,
Mhm.
which like sometimes the show can need.
He's such an
Yes.
average Joe.
Yeah.
He kind of seemed like a fish out of water. He was literally like the self-insert character, like he says what everybody's thinking.
That's a perfect way to describe it.
Like he just, whatever the audience is thinking, he's gonna say it out loud.
I'm very glad that he brought a lot of comedy to this episode, which I think was needed for how much emotional trauma I went through. So I just was crying, and then Mayfield would make a joke, and I'd be like, that's funny. Yeah.
so funny.
Yeah, basically that was me this whole episode. It was an emotional roller coaster.
You mean every time you watch the episode, Dodge?
I watched it last night, like for this, and with my parents. They were like, and at the end of the episode, I was like, because when my parents and I watch it together, like 24 hours after it comes out because they work and whatever. And I was like, we need to watch it, and they were like, can we wait till later tonight? And I was like, no, we need to watch it right now. And they're like, why do we need to watch it right now? I was like, put it on the freaking TV and we're gonna watch it right now.
Dodge, are
then
you holding your parents hostage?
No, I love them. I love
My
parents.
my
They can
parents
stay with
watched it
me.
last night on their own. So we're filming on a Saturday, so they watched it Friday night. And my mom texts me like a half hour into the episode and she goes, Pedro, and like with 50 exclamation marks, and then she goes, he's pretty with the heart emoji. I was like,
Literally,
"Speak your truth, queen.
That was my
Speak your
mom and my
truth."
dad. Like, they took off the helmet and they both went, and they looked at me and I was like, I know, right?
I don't
They're like,
remember
that's
my
why you
dad's
wanted to watch
reaction.
it.
He's
My
always just mad
parents-
at me because I always find out the spoilers ahead of time. Because people be spoiling it, and for some reason my mute it just never mutes it on the TL, so I always see it. But yeah, we always do a debrief after the end of the episode.
Yeah, my parents are like, honestly, I think they're really far behind. Like last time I talked to my mom, she needed to watch the Ahsoka episode still. So
That's
I
how
was
my
like,
friend
okay.
is. I've been trying to get her to watch, and she's still on the Ahsoka episode too.
One thing I did like is the explosion that we see with that, I almost said his dad's name, Bubba did from his ship. It was real pretty. It was blue, it was fabulous. We saw it once before in Attack of the Clones. Django did it to Obi-Wan, but I thought it was really cool because I honestly did not remember that from the Attack of Clones. Of course my father did. But it was just, I don't know, it was just really cool to see the TIE fighters explode that way. And I want to see it more. And I want to see the giant like Imperial ships to have like really big ones and just detonate a bunch of ships, which probably would not be cool, like especially if they had that during Rogue One. But
Yeah.
I just thought like, I don't know, we've never, except for Attack of the Clones, never really seen something do that before. And I
It
just
was
thought that
beautiful.
was wicked cool.
Especially with the modern technology. It was way
Yes.
better.
The sound coming out and then coming back in. Oh,
Yes, that was so
Shivers.
cool.
Sonic
Shivers.
boom.
The last thing I want to mention about this episode really quick is the Mayfeld exploding, like the whole Imperial thing. Like, oh my god.
What
First
a
of all,
shot, dude. Like,
yeah, amazing shot. and it just showed a lot of like character development, I guess.
Yeah.
With him
Yeah.
being like, that was for me.
That was for that one was for me.
Thank you so much for listening to our podcast. Please, we love seeing your guys' comments on Spotify, Apple, YouTube. Feel free to comment, especially those nice, lovely comments. But don't forget to subscribe. We love seeing our new subscribers. And see you guys next week. Have a great week. Great rest of your week when you guys see this. And I really hope you enjoyed this episode. May the force be with you.
Get ready for the finale. Woo!
yeah.
Get ready
enjoy
for the
this
finale.
finale.
Bring those tissues. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.